calories are in certain foods. It's actually showing people how to be empowered to live their best healthy life and giving them the tools and the confidence to do so. So I really center my work around being a wellness dietitian. So wellness encompasses everything from making sure we are treating ourselves well, building self-care actions into our choices in our days, thinking everything from sleep to movement to our mindset. And when we think about our mindset, that's really that breaks or moves us forward. It stops us and moves us forward because what we think sometimes gets in the way. So I really focus in on our mindset and how we connect to our bodies and our health using nutrition as a tool. So when I talk about food and I talk about the value of food, a lot of times we all know we look at food based off how many calories are in this certain thing. And it's deeper than calories. It's more than calories. So how do we redefine the value of food and understand the power how food can actually be what changed the trajectory of our health? We have ability to improve our health through what we bring into our bodies. So we knew how much power we had in our foods, how much power we had to control what that looks like. I think it changes the way we start performing and the way we start thinking about certain foods and how we choose, not feel like we can't, but how we choose to have a choice to choose something in our lives or choose not to. And when it comes to how we do this, I am looking at it, we do this in a more empowering way. You want to be inspired to, learn how to make quick, healthy recipes. You want to be inspired to feel good about some of the foods that you're eating. A lot of times we sit into spaces where we only make choice because that's the rule. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're taught to do. These are the parameters. These are the calorie counts. These are what we should have, what we shouldn't have. And so we feel locked into a cage when we do that. There's freedom to learning how to eat healthy and doing it on an everyday basis, not limitations or parameters. So how we are being self-empowered to make the choice because we want to, not because we have to. And when it comes to our types of ways we're eating, there's a lot of mindfulness eating that we are incorporating into our lives, but there's a lot of mindless eating. We get distracted. We're not motivated. We find ourselves in these habits that we don't even know that we recognize we're doing until we're already knee deep into it. So how do we implement actions of being more mindful in our eating in real time? How do we recognize again how powerful it is to the power of what we put in our body creates the power of our health? How do we now fold all these things together so that we're living a healthier life from our choices, not by someone else's? So that's kind of the girth of why I do what I do. Other things that I do here for those in St. Louis, you may have seen me in different spaces. I do a lot of work with Fox 2 News as a nutrition expert. I've done a TED Talk here in St. Louis. I teach at Maryville University, and I work with WashU as a wellness consultant. So I have a lot of moving pieces, but it all centers down to one thing. It's our wellness and our health and creating an influence of change by inspiring people to make better choices for themselves. So that's a little bit about me. And also, I'm sorry, I have a private practice. So I work with people individually with their nutrition. I've been doing it for the last 12 years. So nutrition is an individual thing. And so I work with people one-on-one in their changes. So that's really kind of what I do on an everyday basis. So for today, this is what we're going to discuss. That way you already have your mindset ready on what the topics are going to be around. And I'm hoping towards the end, we'll have a chance to have some conversations and some questions. We're going to talk about, first of all, not just budget shopping, but why is it so important? I mean, we know it saves $1, but what else, what other positive things come from budget shopping? We're going to talk about that. How to budget shop. So even the applicable steps of different ways that we are looking at budget shopping. And then when we don't have the ability sometimes to be in our own spaces, in our own homes, or there is lack of equipment in a kitchen, how do we look at non-traditional cooking methods that allow us to still make sure we can still make things happen that are still healthy? We don't have to always grab something that's fast food. Like I always grab something that's in a bag or a box. There's still ways to work around and do so. And I actually have my intern, Vanessa, she'll be the one talking about on that topic. And so what if we don't have what if we're away traveling? How do we make sure we keep our snacks so that we know what type of snacks to bring? How are we still strategic when we're away from home so the ball doesn't drop because we lose that structure of a kitchen and what we're used to? And then when it comes to time, we all are busy people. We have busy lives. Instead of utilizing our default plan always been a fast food restaurant or a gas station, which typically that's what happens. How do we learn that, I can make a quick meal at home and it doesn't have to take as long? It may not be the grandiose meal that we want to, that we want to make, but we can still put together some things quick and still not, again, compromise our nutrition and still being able to enjoy it. So those are going to be some of the topics that we're going to talk about today. So let's jump into it. So why is it important? Well, what it does do, it helps us to not make as many impulse decisions when we're shopping. We have a plan. If you write down your shopping list, whether it's on your phone, whether it's on a piece of paper, like you make a plan to stick to that list. And the more you come with a plan, the less you are going to deviate from that. Now, am I saying that you're not going to grab maybe a bag of chips here and there, or grab, something that, that you haven't had in a while? You probably are, but you're less likely to do it as much because you come in with the mindset of, this is the plan I'm setting for myself for this week and for my family. This is the budget. And this is what we're going to do to stick to it. Sometimes it's a good idea to bring cash. You can't overspend when you have cash. So even thinking about like what ways you're paying for things, that you make sure that you don't overspend. But outside of the money part, it helps you to slow down on those impulsive decisions because you come with a plan with your shopping list. Also, it's not only helps you come with a plan, but helps you like know what you're going to put in your body. Create opportunity where you want to make a healthy meal. You're putting things on your shopping list. You're creating a budget as far as how much the cost is going to be. So you have time to build that out. So again, when you go to the grocery store, you're not just grabbing something here and there, just kind of peacemaking your meals or your snacks together. You actually are intentional making sure you're getting enough of the fruit, you're getting the produce, you're getting, the fishes, you're getting the things that you have a plan to eat that are healthy for you. So you have time and space to do that. So that's why budget shopping, that's another benefit to budget shopping. And if you're shopping, you're cooking at home, it means you're eating out less. We spend tons of money on eating out. Even if we're at home door dashing or we're ordering something in, we're still spending a lot more money when you add it all up in a given month than if we were just to create a budget and just purchase our foods. We also have the ability to control how healthy it is as well. But that can be kind of a tough thing to do because sometimes we do have days where we're just tired, it's easy just to order something. But again, when you plan out your budget, you're also planning out your meals, which means you're more likely going to already have meals put together, ready to go. So when those times do come when you're tired or you have a long day, you don't have energy to cook a full meal, you already have that things in place. So it also allows us to, again, be considerate of what we're eating and make sure that it's healthy. It helps you control your finances. That's budgeting in your foods is only one form of budgeting when it comes to all of our finances. I'm sure if you look at your monthly, what you spend your money on, I'm sure a high percentage of it is the food. The difference between, going on a trip or, even getting gas in a car, we think about where our finances go, paying for bills. With food, you have to eat. Like you can't not take that out of your budget. And you're going to be eating for maybe 5 times a day. So you're engaging with that very often throughout the day. So yes, it is going to be a large part of your budget because that's a life necessity. But there's still ways we can be strategic with it where it doesn't overkill our budget, where it stops us from actually getting other things that we want for ourselves. So just think about, what other things, positive things that budget shopping does outside of just keeping, helping you to save some money. It creates other opportunities as well that are more health centered. So I did a little research. And so, when we look at like how much it is, what's the cost of eating, on a larger scale for each month, like outside of you may calculate each month where you're at, but on the average, it costs an average about $223 to $410 a month for 1 to 2 people when it comes to their food budgets. That's a car note, that's a couple of utility bills, that's insurance, so that's pretty big penny. But even now we're expanding. We have typically a family that's more than 2. And so even a family of 4, that can be $863 a month. That's mortgage, that's life, that's your savings. Those are big vacations that we can probably use that money. And am I saying we're going to find a way to eliminate $863 of your food? No, we're going to be able to chop it in half probably. So some of that money can go somewhere else. But if you understand, like the reality is that a lot of our monies do go to grocery shopping, especially now with the economy kind of jumping up. So let's see, how can we be strategic to where we at least stay in those parameters? stay in that budget of maybe $300 a month, maybe $350 if it's just yourself. Or if you have a family of 4, how can we bring that $863 down to $750, $700, save you $150? I always say some big strategies. When you go shopping, your highest commodity of your food that you're going to purchase is going to be your protein. Your protein is going to be your most expensive item. And of course, protein is a very important, needed food group. So we can't deny it. We can't not have it, but we can be strategic on how we purchase it. So even myself personally, when I go to the grocery store, whether I'm just going to grab a few things or I'm doing a full-fledged grocery run, I go by the meat section and I look for stuff on sale. And I do it every single time, because if I grab a sale, I'll just buy 3 or 4 of them, put in my freezer. It'll last a lot longer, but I could just easily save about $40 to $50 in that one trip because I found those sales versus just grabbing the meat in real time, as far as if it's not on sale. So it helps you also to just learn how to be even more mindful when you go grocery shopping. So I always say, look at your meats, just look for the sales every single time you go down that section. Just find when it's on sale, grab 3 or 4 of them, just add it to your grocery basket. I guarantee you it'll save you a lot more money in the long run. Rearranging how you're doing your dinner, double up dinner sometimes at when you're cooking, so that you can have leftovers for lunch. Again, the more you're eating at home, the less you're eating out. So we're not driving to the drive-through at lunchtime or going to the cafeteria during work and buying a $6, $7, sometimes $10 meal, when we can just really utilize what we have from dinner, make more, and just convert it into lunch. So get savvy on using leftovers as your lunch. Sometimes when it comes to the meat, there's protein-centered foods that's not necessarily animal-based. So we can make sometimes meatless meals. What type of non-animal protein sources there are? Beans are one. I'm not sure if anyone are vegetarian. We got tofu, we got edamame. We can make a bean burrito. We can make a black bean burger. There are a lot of other protein sources that we can make every once in a while that offsets, again, buying or having protein every single day in the form of its cost factor. So sometimes try to create a meal that's more meatless. Create an opportunity to get a lot of your fresh vegetables in that day. Just kind of offset it that way. Also, purchase foods that don't always are packaged. You're not paying for the food, you're paying for the package. Instead of buying a bag of salad, now there's a reason we need to buy the salad bags, and I'll talk about that later, but if you have an option of buying a bag of salad and buying a head of lettuce, you're going to save way more money and get way more out of that head of lettuce than you would that bag of salad. And so again, you're not paying for the product, you're paying for the packaging. So even consider like buying things that doesn't have the, obviously some things that are in bulk doesn't have the packaging component to it. Just try to find ways you can offset by purchasing things that are bare, that doesn't need, think about things that are more like individual serving size. You got your nuts and you got your 100-calorie packs of nuts. Buy the bag of nuts for $5.99, then buying, a box of individuals nuts for like $5.99 for 10 packs. You can buy that large bag and then you can divvy it up into individual servings and put it back in that bag. And that way you're saving a ton of money because you're not, again, paying for the packaging. You're just learning how to pack it on your own in your own portion sizes. So you're saving money that way. Be okay with, letting go of some of the groceries, diversifying your stores. Go to different stores, see what's in your proximity, see what's on the way home to or from work where you can stop and grab certain foods. I know I go to a couple of different grocery stores on myself. I have certain things I get in one and certain things I get at the other. And it could be looked at as, that's a lot of extra time. I don't have time to do that, but it could be a factor of saving $30 or $40 in one week. And you multiply that out times 4. That's a lot of money you're saving just to go to different stores. So, but you'll get savvy on knowing what to get at what store, but just consider sometimes you can go to different stores, especially if they have a sale, like just find those sales. Redefine dinner. When it comes to dinner time, how are you, let's say we purchase the meat that's on sale. How do we spread that meat out for 3 or 4 days? How do we make chicken in 4 different ways? We can grill some of it. We can chop some up into cubes. We can air fry some of it. We can roast some of it. So like, how do we also even use our protein source or whatever we make for dinner and finding multiple uses of it? If you buy a bag of broccoli, you buy some green beans and some seasonings and you buy chicken, You can make all time different things with that. So how do we get creative and utilizing what we have at home? So we're not going to, so every other day grabbing these extra items when we can actually just learn how to diversify and expand out the foods that we already have by redefining it. All right. So why is grocery shopping so high? Outside of the cost, outside of our control, other reason it's high as far as for us as consumers, we're not planning. Literally write in get your grocery list together, look at the sales paper, know if you're Wednesday, you're going here to get this, Friday, you're going here to get that, plan it out. So take that time, don't look at it as time consuming, look at it more so as time investing. You're investing some of your time to save money or even find more effective ways of shopping. Sometimes we get things and we don't think to freeze them sometimes. I call it freezer fridge neglect. We don't utilize that appliance as much as we need to. So for example, like I know that the one thing I look out for blueberries. When blueberries go on sale in the summertime, we go from $3.99 a pint to 10 for $1. Whenever those go on sale, I buy 4 or 5 of them and I put them in my freezer bag and I put it in the freezer, and like those are my frozen berries for my smoothies. I'll take some of them out, put it in my Greek yogurt. That's what I have, that I let it kind of melt down. I put in my Greek yogurt and it makes it sweet. Like I find ways to, already know in ahead of time, buy things in bulk, divide them up, and just do a lot of freezing, label them. Take that time. Again, it's time investing, because you're gonna save so much more money than just, impulsively buying berries or fruits products here and there than when they're inexpensive. And now you're spending more money because we didn't plan ahead. Go ahead and wait till they go on sale. Wait till they're in season. Cut them up, put them in the freezer, save them for later. Wait till the meat go on sale. Get it, buy the big amounts, cut up, put in the freezer. Start using your freezer more. So don't overuse it too, because sometimes we put too much in our freezer. How many of you guys have like a deep freezer? You go down there and you got all kind of meats down there. You probably don't know what kind of meat it is, or how long it's been down there. It has frostbite, or you got frozen meals down there. You have no idea how long it's been there. Sometimes we don't utilize what we already have. It's because we put too much in there. We're not organizing. One quick tip is, every 2 weeks, take 10 minutes out and reorganize your refrigerator. Move things out, move things that are old to the front. Kind of keep an eye on what's in your refrigerator. You're not buying extra stuff that you already have, but also you realize what's still in there that you can probably use and repurpose for something else. Same thing for your freezer. Put dates on there, put all your older things in front so that you're using them first. They're right in eyesight. So those are quick ways, again, to exhaust what you have already at home, so you're not constantly going to the store and spending $1 every single time you go. Don't ignore the seasons. When it's fall, that's when you capitalize on your different squashes. In the summertime, you capitalize on your berries. In the fall, you capitalize on like your apples, like knowing when certain, or even like your vegetables, knowing when certain fruits and vegetables are in season, that's when they're going to be on sale. That's when they're plentiful. And so that's another life strategy when it comes to shopping. So just keep an eye on it. Again, now we're going to the grocery store with intentions in so many different ways now. And so we're building that intention now. So we're going there with more of a purpose and more of a plan. So keep thinking about that planning and purpose. That's what's going to help you to be more thoughtful and aware of how you're shopping. Just because it's, on sale, 2 for $7, it may be regularly $3.55 on its own. But if it's on sale for 2 for $7, we may think we're having a better deal. It's maybe 10 cents cheaper. So sometimes we see a sale and we think we need to get that. If you need that, capitalize on it. But just because it's on sale, don't just go for it because it's on sale, thinking, okay, oh, that's on sale. I'm gonna save money by buying it because it's on sale. Well, if we don't buy it because we really don't need it, we're saving more money. So be wary of sometimes the sales. Just first thing, is that something you already use? Is that something you really need? And if it's not, let it sit where it's at. Or if it's something like 10 for $10 or 2 for $5, you don't have to buy 10 of them. You don't have to buy 2 of them. Just buy 1 or 2. Don't feel like you have to live up to whatever number beats this deal, because it's just really saying they're $1 a piece. So just we're quick to look for sales all the time, but let's not get caught up in just because of the sale. Not really take some time to know how much value are we getting out of it? We spend more money on buying sell items because we're buying it and we don't really need it versus just walking past them. When you go to the store, use that as your opportunity to just be in your own zone, take your time, explore, look at different types of foods, look at different new products, compare some things. We sometimes get caught up in just in and out. You want to get in there quick, fast as possible. Well, again, if you're just moving in and out, you're not being conscientious, you're not being thoughtful, so take your time, go and carve out space on a Saturday morning, where you spend an hour in the store and just take your time. And that way you're more thoughtful, you're thinking through, you can compare things, you can really see if it's really a sell or not. You're familiarizing yourself for some new things in the store. So if we get into these habits again, there's sometimes you do got to rush to the store. Don't get me wrong, I know those times will come, but don't go into the mindset, let me just get it here quick and get out quick. Because then you are just looking for something quick just to add, you're not thinking it through, you're not giving your time to process, do you really need something, or how can you find something at a better deal? Just take your time. This is what you're going to eat. This is what you're going to put in your body. So it deserves that extra time that should be taken to do so. So just think about some of those practices that we can incorporate that can help us as consumers to learn how to, be more thoughtful and not spend as much. So here's a comparison. I feel like I can always say you're saving money, but I gotta put it out there and show you really how much money you can save when it comes to budget shopping. So I created kind of a week's worth of an 8-day, $8 a day. This is what we can do with $8 a day. And I broke them up into different categories. So if you notice, for each day, Monday through Thursday, I just put in these, and it's an average of, give and take, let's say 25 cents for everything. But if we're thinking about the cost factor of if we buy things in bulk, we buy things and not go out to eat, look at our breakfast options. We can do something like oatmeal or make an egg sandwich or do yogurt and fruit, scrambled eggs. We can diversify how we make our eggs. Eggs are not a high price. You buy a dozen for $1.99, but it's healthy. These are all healthy foods comparable to just running to the drive-thru. For the sake of time, I'm just going to get a breakfast burrito. This is actual breakfast burrito, one of our famous restaurant, and that's the cost, $1.49, and that's not even including tax. So then the food is processed, food is high in sodium, high in fat, it's not healthy for us. So we're doubling up, what we can have as far as price, and not even healthy for us. Let's say lunchtime, we can make a lunch happen for less than $3. And these are all examples. We can have, leftovers from the day before. That can be an easy way to make a lunch. We can make tuna sandwich. You can make salad. We can make foods that are fresh and natural compared to, again, just running down into a fast food restaurant. And let's say we typically get a Subway sandwich. But that's $6.75. And that's not even including the drink and the chips and tax. So again, we can say that's 3 times the amount of money that we are having when we're going out to eat. Another is dinner. Let's make quick meals. Let's make meals that are not that taxing. It doesn't take that long to make a lot of meals. There are so many different recipes out there that gives you ideas of quick meals. And again, it gives you the opportunity to know what you're putting on your plate. And we can do all that around $4 per person or less. Versus, you had a long day, let's just go to Chili's and grab a dinner. At the least, it's $11.95. And again, that's not including taxes. So if you see, that's 3 times more. And then the last in our snacks, we're gonna want a snack. I would say fruits are the best snacks. They're most nutritious. They're not as perishable. They're not as expensive. And it's hot outside. So you're getting a lot of juices from all of that. Instead of our traditional, let's get a bag of chips out to the gas station and we spend $1.49. Now that's 4 times over. So when you add it up, we can literally eat healthy foods for $8 a day, which is about $243 a month. Or we can opt out and go for our defaults and get something that's quick and that's fast, maybe not as healthy, way more expensive. And that could average easily 20, I'm just being on the low end, that could easily be $20, $22 a day, easily, which converts to $650 a month. So that difference, that's about almost a $400 difference. I can use that $400 for something else. We can do so much more with that extra money if we just invest our time to shop, to budget shop, to make our own meals, versus thinking we're better off getting something quick and fast. Let's switch some time and we can just easily save $400 in our pocket, just alone with food. So that's the value when we compare our budgets. So The next one, I'm going to introduce you to my intern, Janessa. She is actually has graduating, got her master's in nutrition and her bachelor's in nutrition dietetics. So now she's just finishing out her last hours. She's going to sit in her exam, become a licensed dietitian. So kudos to her. She's going to now talk to you really quick about non-traditional cooking techniques.
Hello, everyone. Like Reshaunda said, my name is Janessa, and today we're going to be talking about just different ways to cook when you don't have like your traditional kitchen or things like that. Okay, so the first thing I thought about with this was how can you, sort of utilize the space that you have and still cook the way that you want to cook. And my first mind went to like using small appliances. So as we all know, if you don't have a stove these days, that's no problem. You can still cook and you can still eat healthy no matter what. So the first thing, the first appliance I was going to go over is an air fryer. So how many people have heard of an air fryer? Pretty much everyone. Yes, you heard of it. So air fryer is pretty much like the new microwave these days. It is amazing piece of like machinery if you don't have one. It just helps to get your foods like crispier without the extra oil, like without actually frying them. So if you're interested in learning more about that, I definitely encourage you to explore what an air fryer is and to learn more and how you can use it for different recipes. You can literally do anything from meats to vegetables in there. It has a lot of different recipes that you can use that are available for air fryers. Crock pots are also great to use as well if you don't have a traditional kitchen. And crock pots, as we know, are good for like slow cooking your meals. So you can do pretty much anything in there, like different stews and soups for like the fall. But you can also do like chicken fajitas or anything quick that you want to eat, something that's like hearty in your crock pot. An Instapot is another option for you, and that's really to utilize for faster meals. So if you are like in a crunch for time, you can throw everything in an Instapot, and it's like more of a pressurized cooking method, and it just helps you to get your meals done faster. A toaster oven or convection oven is pretty much like your regular oven that you have in your home, but it's just on your countertop. So you can bake in there, you can like baking your baked goods or baking like meats or things like that, your fish, that all can go into the toaster oven. So it's functional just like an oven. So if you're not if you don't have one right now, or if you're like in a transitional like home or like anything like that, you can still have your toaster oven. You can also use it like for your basic things like toast and things like that. Microwaves, as we all know, you can use it for your quick meals. So what I usually use my microwave for is for steaming vegetables. I usually buy like a frozen bag of vegetables, and then you can use that to steam them. And then there you go, you have your fresh vegetables there for you to eat and enjoy. And you can use microwaves for a lot of different reasons as well. Last thing is hot plates. If you don't have your traditional stove, hot plates come in handy. So you can still utilize them. They come in single or double like options, and then you can use those to like cook as you will on the stove. So definitely all these things are not necessary. These are just some examples of different appliances that you can use, but you just kind of choose whatever suits your lifestyle. So I usually suggest that you can do like at least 2 to 3 of these, just depending on what you need. And there's additional ones I didn't mention as well, but you just kind of see what suits your lifestyle and you can go from there. Sorry. And then the last thing I was going to say, just be creative when you're not cooking traditionally. There's a lot of different recipes for when you're utilizing these small appliances, like the air fryer, like I was talking about. Like if you just Google air fryer recipes, you'll have like a whole a list that you can choose from. Also, you can utilize Pinterest as well. If you're ever interested in looking for more recipes, and people are always adding healthy recipes all the time. So you definitely have the resources for that. So I just encourage you to try something new if you haven't before, and to just do something that you haven't done before, and hopefully you'll like it, if you're trying that method. Also, make sure you have all the supplies you need. Just because you don't have a traditional kitchen doesn't mean you don't need your supplies. So make sure you have your utensils, any pans, bowls, pots, anything that you need to actually cook your meals. Also, try to use your kitchen space or the space you're dedicating as your kitchen creatively, whether that's finding different methods to organize your supplies and your food items, just keeping that in mind. And just remember, the possibilities are endless. There's never a cap to what you can create. You can also create something yourself if you're feeling creative with your food and your recipes. So yeah, I just encourage you to continue being creative.
Thank you, Janessia. Great ideas. And I like the way you took some time to really explain each appliance and how it can be used. Really good job. And as Janessia said, she really leaned into the air fryer. I'm serious, the air fryer is the thing to have. If you don't have it already, there are different levels and types within different budgets. But at the end of the day, it does what it does the job. And so just want to encourage you, if you haven't already, just really step out there and just try something different, and you actually will find that you don't use that oven as much as we used to. I don't use it as much as I used to because I found so many other ways that I can cook either something quicker, something healthier in a way. Like I said, air fryer, it makes things crispy and it's not fried. I mean, that's just that's mind blowing to me in so many ways. But you'll find that you don't even need to be as dependent upon your kitchen as much as we used to, because we have all these amazing different appliances that gets the job done, and it's still safe. Especially when you have little kids, you don't have to worry about kids, getting, being too close to the stove and things like that. So there's also safety precautions to it. So we're going to move on to the next topic. We're going to talk about, what do we do when we have no kitchen? So this more so is not necessarily about having limited appliances or kitchen space. It's like, what do you do when we're not home? How do we, refinagle a way of eating healthy, enjoying it, and not really being in our common places, which is typically our house or our kitchen. So I put together 3 different places that we will find that being a need. And that's while we're traveling, whether it's flying, while we're driving, road trips or short trips. And then what if we're in spaces that it's not our kitchen, or we're sharing it with other people? Like, how do we navigate through that? And so these are some of the situations that you may find yourself in. And if you do, these are some really quick, easy things that you can do to make sure you're still getting your nutrition in. Protein powder packs. That is something that I tell everyone whenever you travel. If you're a protein shake drinker, and you have your powdered protein, get your little baggies and put you a scoop in each bag and take a couple of them with you. And that way, when you're in any space, whether you're in another state or you're at you're on vacation or something, typically getting your healthy protein is always the hardest thing, because you're faced with muffins or bagels or fruit, you're limited. They're not going to really sell you protein when you go to different places, because protein is expensive, right? But if you have your protein powder with you, grab you a cup of almond milk or a cup of milk and just add your protein powder, shake it up, and still have your bagel or your fruit for breakfast, but then you have that protein source. It's always a quick, easy go-to way to just kind of make sure you kind of get those needed nutrients in, that's non-perishable, that you can have with you whenever you're traveling. Oatmeal cups. Grab a couple of them and take them with you, put them in your luggage. So all you gotta do is find some hot water somewhere, and you'll be able to just have a healthy breakfast. It's already portioned out. You don't have to, again, default to grabbing something out of the, gas station or the fast food restaurant, because you already have, and then you're saving so much money. Then you have it with you. Even in airports, they do now in their different coffee shops that they serve those oatmeal cups where they'll just add hot water to them and give it to you, and then you have that, and you give you a couple. Yeah, they come with different toppings, and then you have a healthy, hearty breakfast, and you didn't really have to spend as much money. Other types of packs. Buy the nut butter packs, buy the Jif little cups of nut butters, or buy the little Justin's single individual nut butter packs. So that way you actually have all you need now is, something to have with it. You can grab an apple, you can grab a handful of pretzels, you can buy some crackers, but you having something you can take with you. Again, you're getting healthy fats, you're getting nutrition. Or tuna packs. I mean, outside of it, and the most pleasant smell, that's an easy, quick way to get a healthy, lean protein in really quick. And again, all we need now is just some pretzels or some crackers to eat alongside with it. So think about the packs that we can like just carry with us and take and put in our luggage whenever we're traveling. If you're in a place where you just have this grocery store is near or you driving past one, what can you run to the store and get if you're traveling? Obviously, you can never go wrong just grabbing some fruit. Look at some of the salads on the go. So these are the times we do need to just maybe spend a little bit more money to get like to-go salads, or get something that's already like wrapped up. They have a lot of different, they've really expanded their fresh food to-go options that are actually healthy in grocery stores. So to even think ahead, like, what if I run into the grocery store, what am I going to grab and get? Sometimes getting a little Greek yogurt cup can be a good idea. Again, thinking about like what can be done quickly that doesn't compromise your nutrition in the meantime. So those are good options. What about if we're driving? You're driving, you can't really eat with a spoon and fork, it gets a little messy, but we need to make sure we're not, again, grabbing a wrapper with a burger inside and French fries in a little bundle because we need something in the car that's not messy. We can pack our own stuff. We can pack our own wraps. Again, it's that planning, it's that thinking ahead. Make your own wraps. Put it in a zip, put it in a folded bag and take it with you on the road. Make your own sandwiches. Make it the way you want. Slice up, you're going to save money, and you have that healthy meal that you still can carry in a compact way. Put your snacks in a baggie. I always put grapes in a baggie. I'll put carrots in a baggie. I'll cut up strawberries. I always carry stuff with me when I'm driving because these little things you can just kind of eat, out of your, you can eat one by one and they're not messy. So thinking about like fruit, it can be a good way to put in your baggie while you're driving. If you do have to stop by the gas station, it's okay. The gas stations, they're coming around a little bit. They're expanding what they have to offer that actually are actually healthy foods. When I say healthy foods, I'm not trying to imply other things are not healthy. I'm more so saying foods that are natural. Like it's not processed. Doesn't have any preservatives in it. It's not laden with like different sauces. It's not in a box. It's not in a jar. It's not in a can. It's just out there. So for example, gas stations now, they have like little cups with boiled eggs in it. They have jerky is a great option. They have fruit and veggie cups now. They got celery and carrot sticks with like little dips. They got protein shakes you can probably purchase in the glass behind the glass container where the beverages are at. They have Greek yogurt cups too, and they always have the Planters nuts. So whenever I go I stop at my gas station, if I'm traveling, I'll get nuts, or I get the beef jerky, or I get like a protein shake, or I have my own fruit with me. That's my go-to. Or if I want something crunchy and salty, I get a bag of pretzels. So I'm not eating something that's heavy in fat. If I do want that salty, crunchy part, I can still have that and not compromise and overeat. Fast food restaurants, there are some ones that are out there. You just got to know what's in there. I already have to like you'll plan like your 3 top fast food restaurants and then like know like what's there. Chick-fil-A, they're known for their salad. They have 3 or 4 different types of salads. They're fresh. They're all natural. You can have in the car. It's all compact for you. Chipotle is a good option. They have a Chipotle salad. You can put different types of meat on there, your different lettuces and different toppings, but just get the salad version. Bread Co. or people that live in St. Louis Bread Company, people that live outside of St. Louis, Panera Bread, they have an app where you can actually customize your meal and have it to be ready for you. So you can do like a two for one, do a half sandwich and a half salad, order it ahead of time. And that way you're just going by to pick it up. Panda Express even have some really good options. They have more fresh vegetables that are steamed as for some of their toppings with their meats. Again, so there are other ways, to eat healthy doesn't mean you have to evade from some of these places. You say, I know what to purchase when you go there. So again, that's the planning part. That's the thinking ahead. So, again, you feel good about what you're choosing. You don't feel like your nutrition is compromised, and you're enjoying you're having a good road trip. And shared spaces. Janessa went over a lot of those appliances. I added a few ones on here that you guys may have just forgotten about. A blender, having your blender, you can easily make you a shake. You can easily make something in the morning time. And all you do is need your protein powder, your almond milk, or your milk that you're using, some frozen veggies. I mean, not frozen veggies, some frozen fruit. Quick, easy way to have a healthy breakfast. Don't forget about the Foreman grill. I still have my George Foreman grill from, I think, right when I graduated college. That was a long, many years ago. I still use it. And I grill my little burgers on there, grilled chicken on there. It takes away the grease. It's compactable, it's washable. So don't forget about some of this older appliances that we used to use in the past. And again, the Instapot, the air fryer, crock pot goes about being said. These, again, are ways that you can prepare your own meals when you don't have a kitchen to share with someone, or you sharing your space with someone, and you just need to make sure like you need those essential pieces that doesn't overlap in other people's way. So now we're going to talk about the quick meals under 5 minutes. So when I say quick meals under 5 minutes, I can either give you these recipes for quick meals under 5 minutes, or you can look them up online and find it yourself. I'd rather show you how you can prepare meals so you can piece them together in under 5 minutes. That way you can take that with you and apply it in any type of way you're preparing any of your meals. So here are some of the tips. When you cook your proteins, typically outside of being the most expensive commodity in your shopping bag, the protein, when you're having a meal, proteins are the longest thing to cook. It's the longest process. You can always steam vegetables up, make a salad, roast some vegetables. You can always have a baked potato quickly, or have some fruit cut up on the side as a carbohydrate. So you can always get your vegetables and carbohydrates. It doesn't take any time for that part. What takes your time is the protein. It takes time to make different meals with meats. So one of the strategic ways that you can shorten your time when it's time to put your meals together is when you cook your proteins in bulk. So I'll give you a couple examples of what I mean by that. Let's say, grilled chicken, you like chicken breast is one of your things. Purchasing, the pallet of chicken breast that usually I think is like 6 in a pallet, at the grocery store, and then getting like the 32 ounce of like the chicken broth, the low sodium chicken broth. If you put the chicken broth and the meat in the crock pot and just let it cook overnight, 6 hours, 8 hours, however long you want it to cook, you let it cook that meat up. And then once the meat is cooked up, you take the insert and you pour the meat and juice in a colander, and now you just have all this meat. And you just take 2 forks and you just shred the meat up. So now you have this bundle of just lean protein, and you can do anything you want to do with it. And what I would do with it, I'll take some out, I'll make a wrap with it, I'll do a salad with it. I may make like a sloppy Joe chicken sandwich or wrap with it. I'll season one up this way and make a dish with it. I'll make lasagna out of it. Like, it's just cooked meat. It's already cooked for you. So all you have to do is now piece it together, whatever you want for your meal. So that makes it easy. And you didn't put any work into it. You just push some buttons and let it cook itself. So you didn't have to apply work to it. Another thing that I do quite often is I'll just buy up, chicken tenderloins, and I will maybe get 12 of them on a cookie sheet, and I'll divide it into 3 sections, so 4 of each. And I'll season one with garlic, pepper, and salt. I season another one with maybe like salt, paprika, and some chipotle seasoning. And then I may do another one just salt and pepper, just kind of plain. And I'll just bake it all together. And I bake it takes 20 minutes to bake it. But when I come out, I have 3 different types of baked chicken. So what can I do with it? I can cut one up, put it on the salad. I can cut one up, make a wrap out of it. Like, now I have diverse, not just meats, but diverse flavors of meats. And that'll last me 4 or 5 days. So I'm diversifying, or I'm creating my meats ahead of time. So when it is time to make a meal, I'm just grabbing what I've already cooked and adding and creating a quick meal. So that can be done in chicken. That can be done with fish. It can be done with beef. It can be done with any type of meat. But again, cooking in bulk is one of the cooking your proteins in bulk is one of the strategic ways to, now all you have to do is add on the other 2 components of your meal. And it can be done in less than 5 minutes. Now, this is where we do grab a salad bag and a salad kit sometimes. Yes, it is a cost factor when comparable to regular lettuce, but if we need something quick, we can buy a bag, and that's 2 or 3 servings of salad in there. So let's think we had a grab a salad kit, take a third out, put our proteins on top, maybe put a little cheese or whatever else you want to put on top, but you have a salad, and that's less than 5 minutes. So sometimes just grabbing a salad is a quick, easy way, still healthy, but easy way to just divvy it up into 3 portions, and you have 3 meals, and it was done fairly quickly. Like Janessia said, use frozen veggies. Frozen veggies are just as good as fresh veggies because they're just grown out of the ground. They take them out, wash them, they flash freeze them. And so all the nutrients are still within those vegetables. So now all we have to do is just steam them up in the microwave, and we still maintain the nutrients from it. Nothing's taken away. We have canned vegetables too. That's another option. The canned vegetable will be a little more depleted in nutrients compared to your frozen vegetables or your fresh vegetables. And sometimes they have sodium in it. So, as much as you can, frozen veggies are the best place to go. You can put frozen veggies in your air fryer, and somehow it'll turn them into crispy vegetables. The air fryer, I'll tell you, is an amazing thing. Pre-chopping your veggies ahead of time. So when I say that is once you go grocery shopping, take out your produce, take out your, if you have onions and bell peppers and whatever you have as your produce, immediately get into the habit of you shopping, taking out your food out of your grocery bag. Go ahead and wash and chop up your vegetables and put them in glass containers in the refrigerator. Just chop them up, put them in glass containers. Because when it is time the next day or for breakfast, you need some veggies to add into your meals or add into your eggs. You're just now grabbing a handful out of the container versus taking the time to chop it. I mean, even just chopping ahead of time, that saves you a couple of minutes to where you don't have to worry about that when it comes to putting the meals together. So get into the habit of just chopping your veggies up, put them in glass containers. And then when it's time to make your meals during the week, your vegetables are already chopped up and ready to go to add into anything that you're making. It chops off some time. Bulk cook or freeze for later. If you're making meals with a crock pot, get your containers, freeze some of your leftovers so you can come out and thaw it in the microwave at the end of the week, or already, if you purchase your meat in bulk, divide them up into Ziploc bags and, portion them out, put them in the freezer, put the labels of the dates on there. That way, again, when you're ready to take it out that morning, and by the evening time, when you're ready to cook your meal, the meat is already thawed out. So thinking about like when you're cooking, you can make it into 5 minutes. It's not necessarily about finding a 5-minute recipe. It's like, how can you, shave off things here and there as far as time that would save you time when it comes to preparing ahead, the planning out. And then when it is time to make those meals, it's now just piecing it together. And we didn't compromise on nutrition. We still save our money. And we found a way to rectify the time constraints. So those are some ways that would be helpful for you. Try a couple of them. You'll probably find there's some more things that you can add on to those actions of making sure your meals are quicker. So the last thing we're going to talk about is our mindset. Our mindset is something that is going to be the driver of our change, whether it's food related, whether it's exercise related, whether it's budget related, relationship related, like whatever it is that we do in life, our mindset is really what controls how we do things and how we're responding, how do we react. So when we're thinking about our budget, and this again, it's bigger than food, just think about budgets in any other thing in your life. But we're going to keep it here with our grocery shopping. We may come in with a mindset of, having a budget means, it's going to take control away from things you want to buy. But we can also look at that as shift that mindset. It can be, I'm making a budget to give me control over my money so that I can do other things with it that I want to do. Being thoughtful of our choices, not you're constraining yourself. You're just creating space to use that money somewhere else for things that you also want to do. So you're not limited. So you're actually taking away the limitations of what you truly want to do by being responsible in a way of figuring out how to make a budget and looking at it as budget as an empowering thing, not a minimizing or a limiting thing. Also, what a thought process is, I have already blown my budget. I already bought too much stuff at the grocery store, or I went out to eat too much this month, so the whole month is ruined. So I might as well spend it on whatever I want. So again, we go to the all or none mentality. Yes, you're learning how to budget. You're not going to always be within your budget, but just because you went over your budget doesn't mean you have the ability to actually learn how to get back in it, And so let's not go into that mindset of, I messed up, there's no point in trying to clean it up or make it better. Let's shift it. Let's now be more forgiving. You're human. You're going to make mistakes. You're trying to get this right, which means you're not going to get it right the first time. Maybe you're not second or third, but keep trying. Forgive yourself. This is a misstep. And next time, what does that mean? Now I'm going to put a plan together. I learned from what happened. So this time I'm going to put a plan together and I'm going to do it today. I'm not going to do it next week. I'm not going to do it when the beginning of the month. I'm going to do it today. I'm going to start today and be more disciplined in my budget. And now, and also your abilities, you have the ability to make a budget. So just telling yourself that you are capable of sticking to a budget. And so shifting that mindset will put you again in a position where you're actually empowered to make those changes versus feeling locked in that you can't really make those changes. It's a learning process. So I want to encourage you all to, again, before we even start thinking about how I'm going to budget, how I'm going to come into the grocery store, get the mindset together first, get that in line, and then follow until with some of these actual steps. So I do want to let you guys, if you would have came to the in-person session, we would have got a chance. We typically make like a healthy snack at the end. So we got creative this time, and we know it's getting to be summertime and we're going to be more social. So it's like, what can we find and create something that's pretty tasty, that's different, and that everybody can enjoy and that matches the summer. So we actually, and I'm gonna have Janessia put this in the chat box, we made a strawberry salsa. So I want to encourage you guys, as I talk about diversity and being creative and like still staying within a budget, not compromise our nutrition. She's going to share with you that recipe that we made. And I want to encourage, and actually made a mango, we have a mango one as well. So I want to encourage you guys to, copy and paste that recipe and try it out. Even send me a picture, put it on my Facebook page, send it to me as an email, let me know how it goes for you. And so I think, Janessa, you get that on there, right? Just to make sure that everyone's able to capture that. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So now I want to just create an opportunity where we can answer any questions that you guys may have. We're still kind of live, so feel free to nod if you don't feel comfortable. As far as reaching out to me, myself, I'll put my email address down at the bottom. So there are some personal questions that you want to have. Matter of fact, I just put my website down there. That way you can reach out to me via website. But yeah, this is the opportunity. We have about 5 or 10 minutes. And anybody got any quick questions or some tips or maybe some things that they have done already or have been trying to do as far as their budgeting?
I go to food pantries and pick up food at they call them food fairs now, and you don't have to be certified or qualified with paperwork. They're a lot more food, but sometimes there is a line, so you kind of got to plan ahead, and you got to go in with the mindset that you're happy with whatever you get, because sometimes you'll be in line for an hour and end up with 50 pounds of apples, and that's it. So it's really helpful if you can figure out where they're at and plan ahead. And I do a lot of sharing. Food takes up too much of my life, my mind, but like whatever I don't need, I pass along to my friends.
Gotcha. Yes, so you share it off. Yeah. No,
So
that's a good idea. Yeah. Matter of fact, Jade, did you want to share with her the metro share with everyone that since she's talking about?
Yes, yeah, that's the perfect plug-in. Thank you, Reshaunda. So I will also, and I just threw this in the chat as well, I'll be sharing an excellent resource with you guys via email tomorrow, along with the recipe and Reshaunda's information, as well as our nutrition services at the YMCA. But for those of you who live in St. Louis, St. Louis is pretty big. It includes city and county as well. So let's see, Good Health for All will be starting a 12-week free produce box delivery. So right now you can have the opportunity to sign up. There's no socioeconomic limitations. It's for anyone living in St. Louis. So I apologize if there's anybody here joining us from somewhere further away, but all you have to do is sign up with your name, email address, contact information. They may ask a few demographic questions as well, but starting May 31st for 12 weeks, they will be providing a weekly drop-off. It's like a huge 20-pound produce box for free. Unfortunately, it's only a 12-week program. I wish it was forever, because there is definitely difficulties accessing high quality, nutrient dense, fresh fruits and vegetables in St. Louis. So this is just something that Good Health for All, Partnerships for Healthier America have partnered with the YMCA. So be looking for that. Right now, registration is a little low, so we encourage everyone to sign up and tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell your family. It's an excellent resource. But I'll be sharing that via email tomorrow as well. Let me know if you guys have any questions. This is excellent. I've loved this presentation. I've learned so many things myself, and I have tried the strawberry salsa recipe, and it is fantastic.
Yes, I was surprised, and not saying surprised, I just didn't know the combination of the jalapenos and the cilantro and the strawberries. That was a nice combination of different textures and different like food categories, so I encourage you guys to try it, and I think you'll like it, and share it with some other family members. But yeah, anyone else got any comments or questions before we jump off? I appreciate you all for being a part of this presentation. I really hope that there's a lot of good takeaways and actionable stuff that can be helpful for you as you're, learning how to budget shop, learning how to think differently when you're budget shopping.
I would like your email address. I have some questions for you.
Okay.
I got Jade, so I got her in my book, and now I just need yours.
Yeah. So actually, I put my website in the chat. If you go there, there's a place
for some reason here.
Oh,
for me anyway. It's really weird. I can't see it. Oh wait, I found it.
okay. Well, you go there. There's an area where you have contact, and you can send me. You can communicate with me through there, and then I will, from that vein, I'll definitely email you back, and then we'll have each other's email address.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Yes. But any questions? Yes. Well, I appreciate everyone being a part of this. And again, we have another one coming up in June. I believe it's the end of June, the 22nd to be in person. I think the 25th, that Thursday, it'll be a virtual one again. So just be on the lookout what the topic's going to be about, and be on the lookout for, come if you can, and bring someone else along with you, or share somebody else the link so we can, get the more people that knows about these things, the more it's going to be able to help other people.
I did find one other thing that you guys might be interested in. You mentioned the Partnership for America. The 18th, they're going to be a live virtual session of some sort, and I believe First Lady Obama's going to be on there. So I'm signed up for that. I'm excited.
Yes, that's awesome. I was actually looking at their website today, and is it Dana?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I was saying your name right. I saw that too, and it's a presentation on health equity and food equity as well. So this so relates to St. Louis and where we live. So I will be sure to share that resource in the email as well. So thank you for the reminder, Dana.
You're welcome. And I got one more thing to share. I get so excited, I can't help it.
It's all good.
This lady's name is, well, I forgot her name, but all her social media accounts goes by this name, Downshiftology. And she's mostly a food prep person, but she is so cool. You would just love her.
Downshiftology. Okay, I'm gonna look. That's on Facebook.
She's Instagram mostly.
Okay, I'll look her up. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else before we go? Well, thank you, everyone. And I look forward to seeing your faces again in June. And again, if you want to reach out, you have Jade, should be emailing you all. Feel free to respond back to her. Or, you also have ability to reach out to me as well. So have a good evening. Happy shopping, happy, healthy shopping, and find those ways to create a budget and be happy with what you're purchasing, and be confident in how you're purchasing it.
Good advice. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Reshaunda. Thank you,
You're
Janessa. Great job.
Congratulations to you, young lady.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Take good care.
Good night.
Good night.